Hey guys, what's going on? It's Phil here from TechSmart, and today we're going to be looking at 50 plus tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. Now, for the most part, almost all of these tips are going to work perfectly fine on the Galaxy S6, with the exception of any tip that has to do with the edges, of course. So this is probably going to be a long video, so I'm going to jump right into it. First off, you can download an application called Altogether in the Samsung Galaxy Apps Store right here. And what this application does is it allows you to connect with other Galaxy devices around you without actually using any data or internet connection. Basically, it sets up a local Wi-Fi connection. So for example, if you're out camping with friends, you guys all have Galaxy S devices, you can stay in touch with each other even if you don't have any cell service. So it allows you to make calls in that walkie-talkie feature, as well as do group chat and standard messaging to each individual person. Next up, this has to do with the Edge. So if you hop into the settings and go to your Edge settings, you have this cool feature called Night Clock, and right now I have it enabled from 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. It does use up a little bit of your battery, so you're probably going to want to keep this on when you're on a charger. So what happens is when the display is off, it's actually going to show you a clock right along the edge. Now I'm going to have to shut off some lights so you guys can see this, so I'll be right back. So as you see here, we have 8:57 written right down on the edge. And of course, you do have to keep this in a very dark room in order for you to see the display. Samsung includes this awesome tool called Download Booster. So if you go into your settings, and then you go right down to more connection settings, you have this download booster. What this is going to do is any file larger than 30 megabytes, it's going to use your data as well as Wi-Fi to try and download that file quickly to your device. If you open up your contacts and open up a specific contact right here, I have Abracadabra, you can go ahead and hold your phone right to your ear and it'll start making the phone call. So if you go like this, it'll immediately enable that phone call. In your settings, you have an option to create keyboard shortcuts. So go to settings and go right down to language and input. Click on Samsung keyboard and then click on text shortcuts. I have a shortcut in here that says when I type TS, the word TechSmart will pop up. So if I open up a message and I type TS, and hit space, it'll automatically auto-correct it to TechSmart. So if you're sending out a lot of messages or you have a lot of long phrases, you can quickly send them out a little bit easier. Number 6 is kids mode. So this is great if you have any kids or if you have nieces, nephews, whatever, younger people that are going to want to play with your phone. So you download this app for free from the Galaxy apps, and once you enable the package that it comes with, you then have all of these fun kid central apps to play with. It's like this music one. I'm obviously the best musician out there. And then you have a couple more options. You have this cool selfie camera. We'll put it on them. And look, we can add eyes to something. I don't know. I'm not a kid. I don't really play with this that often. However, it is great if you do have a kid and you don't want them getting into all your stuff. And once you want to leave, you see hitting the home button doesn't bring you home. You click this little exit icon, and then you have to enter a PIN that you set up beforehand. Number 7, you can quickly access the camera from anywhere. So you just double tap the home button and the camera is going to pop right up. Next, under the accessibility options in your settings, and you go into hearing, you have this awesome option for sound detectors. So if the phone hears what it thinks is a baby crying or a doorbell, it'll go ahead and alert you on your device. It's pretty creepy, but really cool. Samsung's been using this feature for a long time in their devices, but it's often overlooked. Next, if you go into settings and go down to battery, Samsung has included this ultra power saving mode. Basically what this does, I'll enable it here for you guys. It strips the phone down to its bare minimum, puts the screen at black and white. As you see, it also dimmed the brightness down just a little bit, and it really makes your phone conserve a ton of battery. So you see I'm at 57% and it's letting me know that I have just about 16 hours of battery life remaining. It's pretty insane. You can click these little plus icons here to add some preset applications, but again, it's very limited. This is all you have options for. And if you go home, it'll keep bringing you back here. To get out of this, hit more, click on turn off ultra power saving mode, and it'll take its time to leave this setting. If you open up the camera, Samsung included this cool option to quickly take selfies. So if you have the front facing camera up and you just show the camera your palm, you kind of have to do it with your face in it. So if you can detect me and the palm, 3, 2, 1, takes the picture. It's kind of hard to demonstrate. There's my palm. Palm. And automatically take the picture. Works much better when you're not sitting behind a camera and a microphone, but take my word on it, it's pretty cool. If you want to enable developer settings, hop into your settings and go all the way down to about, and you're going to want to tap on build number 7 times. And mine's already been enabled, but if you go out once, you have your developer options right here. And this is where you can enable USB debugging, you can speed up your animations, and really tweak your phone a little bit past what it's normally able to do. If you open up a conversation and you find that it's a little bit too small, so like this conversation here with Abracadabra is way too small for me, you can pinch and zoom and it's actually going to scale it up. So if you have poor eyesight or whatever, you just want a bigger conversation, you can do this with any of them and it makes it a lot easier to quickly adjust it. For 13, if you go to the multitasking tab and press and hold on an application, it's going to leave it up for a pop-up window. So messaging here, if I press and hold, you'll see that it then pops it up right there. So I can move this around and I can also continue doing whatever I was doing behind it. And if you click on this little white icon, you have a couple different options. So you can contract it to an icon and then it'll just stay in the corner, and whenever you tap on it, it'll expand. You can also expand it to a full application, and then the other option was just to close out of it. Now you can also hit the multitasking button and just click on these 2 rectangles. Let me try that again. And that will lock it to the top or bottom of the screen and allow you to lock another application to the top or bottom as well. So if I put up the gallery, we can now run 2 apps simultaneously side by side, and you can drag this little bar here to change which application has the priority. For number 15, if you're on the home screen and you just pinch out real quick, you can click on screen grid and you can change the size of the grid from 4x4, 4x5, or 5x5. Those numbers are corresponding to the columns and rows. So for example, if we go to 5x5, 5 icons across by 5 icons down, 4x4 is going to make everything a little bit stretched. I personally go for 4x5. It just gives me 1 extra row and I think it fits the best. So once you shut off the display and you run your finger forward and backwards, it'll pop up this stream. So this is best if your phone's sitting on your desk like so. And right here we see the time, the weather, and if I had more feeds going, I could swipe between them. However, I don't have any internet connection on the phone right now, so that's a bit of a problem for me. If you're unhappy with the size of the keyboard, of course there's a way to change that. So hop into your settings, go down to language and input, Samsung keyboard, and right at the bottom you have adjust keyboard size. Here you can adjust the height just by dragging this bar, and then you have a little test field if you want to see how you like it. I personally like the normal size, so I'm going to reset that. For number 18, you have adaptive sound. So if we hop into the settings, go to sounds and notification, sound quality and effects, we have adaptive sound. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in a pair of headphones and we're going to test this out. So I have headphones right here. I'm going to plug them into the bottom and stick the other one in my ear and hit start. And it's asking me if I can hear a beep. Oh, I think I might be deaf. I cannot hear a beep. I heard one there. Not there. Huh. So let's just say yes. Yes, 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 yes. Right side. So now as you see, it's tailored the audio coming from the phone to however my ears are set up. So I guess I'm not the best. That's excellent. I'm like, you know, somewhere in another range. But it's great if you want perfect audio coming out from your phone. If we jump back out of this, you also have some sound effects in there, sound notification, sound quality effects. You have this Sound Alive Plus, which recreates the sound effect of rich surround sound. You also have this Amplitude, but again, they're both going to work when the headphones are plugged in. For number 20, if you're watching a video that you have stored on the phone, this won't work in the YouTube app. I'll go to Gallery and I'll pull up something that I recorded earlier. We can hit play, and we're going to go to the video player. You can drag up and down to adjust the scrub rate so it can go through quicker or more precise. So if you're scrubbing on a movie or something that's a much longer duration, you can quickly get to where you want and you'll be ready to go. With the movie pulled back up, if you hit the lock button while a movie is playing, it locks the screen so you can't actually touch it or do anything. And you hit the lock button again and it'll unlock it for you. So great if you're watching a movie. And just like the ultra power saving mode, you can go to settings and battery, and you have this power saving mode, which is a little bit less extreme. It just minimizes the CPU performance, reduces the brightness. So I don't really even need to show you guys that. But if you do want to conserve a little bit of battery life, but still have a full working phone, this is definitely going to be the option for you. Now for this next one, I already set it up, so I can't really show you it again. But if you go to settings, lock screen, and security, and then you go to fingerprints, log in with my fingerprint there, you have this web sign-in option. So when you sign into a website for the first time, it'll ask you if you want to sign in with your fingerprint. So it's pretty cool. So for number 24, this has been an option for quite a long time, but if you wave your palm over the screen, it'll go ahead and capture a screenshot for you. For number 25, it's in the camera settings. It's called focus tracking. So if I flip this camera around and go to settings, we have tracking autofocus. So it'll track a moving subject as it walks around, but it does cut off video stabilization, as you can see there. Staying within the camera, you also have this great option to record video in 2.5K, which is 2560 by 1440. And it does give you that option for the front-facing camera as well. So if we flip this around, click on settings, you have front-facing video QHD. So it's pretty great. It does limit some options here. No tracking autofocus, no HDR rich tones, no video effects or video stabilization. But if the extra quality is worth it, then it's worth it. For number 27, if you hop into the settings and go to Edge, you have this option for Edge lighting. So what this is going to do is you set it up for certain contacts and it'll go ahead and beam a certain color when your phone is face down. This device doesn't have a SIM card in it, so it's a little bit difficult to show you. However, if somebody was calling me right now and they were set up to the color blue would be glowing whenever they call me. You can also do a quick reply by tapping on the heart rate scanner on the back. And it's going to let you know right there what the message will be, and you can edit that if you'd like. Next, if you go into your settings, you can enable this great option called pin windows. So this is great if you own a local store. I'd imagine if you're anything more corporate based, they're going to have a separate application for it. However, if you go into settings, you go to your security options, just look for this here, location and security, and other security options. You have pin windows, which I have turned on right now. So if you hit the multitasking option and you click on your most recent application, so we'll do settings, you have this little pin. So when I click on that right there, it's going to ask me to fingerprint to unpin. I'm going to hit start. And now this application is locked on screen. So I can hit home, menu, back, whatever. It's not going to do anything. It makes me stay in lock screen. That's why if you're a local business and you want your application on a unit that other people could be touching, they can't get out and do other things because you see it is locked. Stuck in settings. And if you want to get out of that, it says right here you can hold the recents and back key at the same time, and the application is no longer locked, and we're at the lock screen and we have to use the fingerprint to get back in. If the palm screen shot is a little bit too difficult for you, you can just press the home button and power button at the same time, and it'll take a quick screenshot. I prefer that method. It's a lot easier and you don't accidentally hit a bunch of stuff. You can put on your notification window and click on S Finder. It's a universal search that searches everything on your device, messages, Google, apps, all of it. It's pretty great. Also, if you pull down your notification and click on Quick Connect, it allows you to easily send files to other Galaxy devices. It's very similar to AirDrop, however, this is Samsung's version. If you're on your home screen, there's this little rectangle here, and if you swipe to the left from the edge, you have a few quick contacts here. I have the good old Abracadabra set up, so I can click on that and immediately start calling or texting. And if you want to add others, you just click on the plus and you can add their contact. Super simple. Number 33, if you hop into your settings, you've seen me use this feature a few times already, but this is the fingerprint scanner. So lock screen and security, fingerprints, and you can have your fingerprint unlock your phone. You can add multiple fingerprints for your thumb, whatever, index, middle finger, you name it, you can put it in here. You can probably do a lot more than your fingers, but do that at your own discretion. Number 34, if you pull down the notification bar, you can hit this little edit icon right here and you can quickly rearrange your quick toggles. So just say you use one more than the other, like screen mirroring, we can bring this up in here, hit done, and now screen mirroring is right there, and the others are all going to be requiring you to swipe over to see them. If you go to settings and display, you have Smart Stay. Again, what this is going to do, as you can see here, when you're watching a video looking at the display, it will look at your eyes and not shut off the display. I have the display on a 30-minute timing right now, so it's probably not going to shut off regardless, but if you want to conserve battery, put it on 10 seconds, have Smart Stay on. Whenever you're looking at the screen, it won't shut off on you. Also in settings and display, you have Daydream. So this is nice if you're at work. We'll go ahead and turn it on. If you plug it into a charger, you can have it just cycle through something. It's just a nice little background. It's kind of like a screensaver for your phone. The next few tips and tricks are all going to pertain to the camera. So Galaxy S6 users, listen up. If you go to your settings, you have this option in here to change what the volume keys do. So you can have them jump between taking photos, recording video, and zooming. So if we go to zoom and back out, you'll see that, let me flip this camera to the back camera. I can zoom in and out just by clicking on the volume keys. We're going to zoom all the way back out. You also have auto reviewing photos in your camera. So again, this one you're going to go settings and you're going to go down to review photos. So immediately after you take a picture, it's going to automatically review it for you. So we'll take a photo of this little guy. And you can see the photo you just took, and you can quickly delete it if you don't want it. And I'm like, no, that picture is horrible. Delete it. Next, you can go into your settings still within the camera, and you can enable some voice control features. So I'm going to turn this off and turn it back on so you can see what you can do. You can say smile, say cheese, capture, shoot, and it'll take the photo for you. So smile, cheese, shoot. And I'm going to turn off that auto review because I can see why that would get very annoying. For number 40, this is just a nice feature Samsung added to alleviate not having to have another application. So here's a picture I took a little bit ago. If you click on edit within the gallery, you can click collage. I don't know about you, but I use a lot of collages on Instagram, and a lot of them cost money. You can't even I forget the name of the one I use, but I can't even adjust the borders. So Samsung gives you this for free. And of course, you could add other pictures in there, and you can make the coolest Instagram shots in town. Then you can save this and obviously export it to any social media platform of your choice. For number 41, if you swipe over to the left, you have Flipboard. This has been replaced. This replaced My Magazine, so you have all of your news going on in here. You can hit these settings and choose what you're going to see. And if you don't want Flipboard, you can just pinch out, swipe over, and uncheck Flipboard, and it's gone. You don't have it there anymore. I actually kind of like it. It's not as annoying as My Magazine was, so we're going to keep it there. Hit home, and it's there waiting for me when I get home. You may have seen this option pop up a few times as well, but if you pinch out, you can change the theme on your phone. I'm on the default theme. Keaton probably wants the pink theme, and I'm gonna go to this cool space theme. So I don't have any internet right now. Let me turn on my Wi-Fi so we can see about getting this awesome space theme. We're gonna hit try again. We're gonna keep on trying until the Wi-Fi connects. It's gonna give you some screenshots here and we can download it. That's pretty ugly. We're actually not gonna download it. If you go to the store, you can look for more themes. There's a ton of them in here. I like the default theme. We'll leave it as is because I'm a pretty basic person. For number 44, if you go into settings, you have an option to mute incoming calls just by setting the phone face down. That's of course going to be found in your gesture settings, motion and gestures. You have mute call right here, just below smart alert. So if you're getting a phone call, put your phone down and it'll automatically silence that call. Back in the motion and gesture settings, you have this smart alert like I just mentioned. Basically, whenever you pick up your phone, if you have notifications, it'll vibrate, just so alerting you once more whenever you grab your phone if you weren't necessarily in the room when that alarm went off the first time. Number 46 is once again in your settings, and if you go look for it, it's called easy mode. This is probably the best feature to put on a new smartphone owner's phone, or if you just don't want anything complicated in your face, hit easy mode. Right now we're on standard mode, and easy mode is going to make everything simple. It's basically just a different launcher. So here we have some basics, some apps here, and then some quick contacts. So put this on grandma's phone and she will never ask you how to do something again. Number 47 is a pretty interesting one. Not really, but it's kind of confusing to use. It's called private mode. If you go into your settings and look for privacy, looking through a camera screen, privacy, you can click private mode and turn it on. And I already set up this pattern for it. Basically what happens is right now I'm in private mode, so all my private content is available. I don't really know what you're using this mode for, but you know, that's all up to you. If we go to gallery, this is the easiest way to show it. You can select a bunch of pictures that you don't want people to see in the normal mode. So yeah, all these pictures of my hands, definitely don't want those to be seen. Hit more and click on move to private. And you see how many photos are here right now. If we go home, go back into settings, go back into privacy and safety and turn off private mode. Whoops. Turn off private mode. And we'll go back into my gallery. You can see that there's significantly less photos in here because those are only visible when you're in private mode. So yeah, if you want to hide stuff, go right ahead. You have private mode on the Galaxy S6. And for a more useful feature, we have SOS. So this is pretty awesome. If you go into settings, privacy once again, and send SOS message, you can enable this so that when you quickly tap on the power button 3 times, it'll send out a text message to some specific people, and it'll also attach a photo and audio recording of that immediate moment. So this is really great if you're walking by yourself and you get yourself in a bad situation. Just tap the power button 3 times and it'll automatically send out an audio recording as well as a photo and message to those specific people. Number 49, if you want to quickly enable Google Now, press and hold the home button and Google Now will pop right up. For number 50, if you hop into your contacts and you want to quickly call or text somebody, you can swipe left or right to call or message. 51 is do not disturb. So go into your settings. Next up is do not disturb. So go into settings and sound. And click on do not disturb. So this will mute your phone and also give you some exceptions. So you can see here that you can let calls come through or messages, or calls and messages from specific people. So if you have any certain contacts you don't want to miss from, you can set that up in here. You can also have it automatically enable for certain times so your phone won't go off while you're sleeping. Last up, you've noticed this whole time, I've had all the edge options, the swipe ins coming from the right. If you don't like that on the Galaxy S6 Edge, go into your settings, go to your edge screen, and right at the bottom you can change the edge screen position from the right to the left. So that second edge is definitely going to come in handy now if you're left-handed. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video where we looked at 50 plus tips and tricks on the Samsung Galaxy S6 Edge. Really, almost all of these are going to work on the Galaxy S6. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out all of our social links in the description below. If you want to follow me, I'm at PhilTEspo on Twitter. Thank you for roughing it through this probably 30+ minute video. If you made it to the end, comment below the word popcorn, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.